So this is part 1 of 2 of Tokyo Game Show. In this part 1, I will be covering some important highlights yet, such as Xbox Series S gets a discount even before it is launched, Resident Evil 8 is coming to current gen consoles, a mobile game for NieR and more. Tokyo Game Show 2020 has officially arrived, and from September the 23rd up till 27th, there will be a ton of incredible announcements, trailers and gameplay videos from some of the most anticipated upcoming games. So the first highlight is NeiR Replicant version 1.22474487139. I know, right? An upgraded version of the 2010 JRPG will be released in Europe and North America for PlayStation 4, Xbox One and PC via Steam on April 23, 2021. Announced during Tokyo Game Show, the punishingly titled remaster also saw a gameplay demo, showing off combat and exploration in the game's updated world. Japan will receive a White Snow Collector's Edition including a display box, unusually heavy Grimoire pens, full voiceover scripts and more. It's not clear if this edition will be released outside of Japan. NeiR Replicant was a Japan-only version of the original NeiR, featuring a young version of the titular character. This new version will mark the first time that version of this game will be released in Western markets. Significantly updates the original, expanding the story, world and quests and altering combat animations to make it more familiar to NieR Automata players. Yes, it is Automata, it's not Automata. Next entry in this list is Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. Producer Ichiro Hamada announced during a live show at TGS on Friday that Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory will be getting a playable demo in mid-October. More details such as exact date and potential Western release will be released later, and I'll cover the news as it comes. Some gameplay was also shown off. Along with single player mode, the game will also feature online versus play. The title is the departure for the series, swapping out the usual RPG trappings for a rhythm action game. Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory is a reaccounting of the famously complex Kingdom Hearts series set against the backdrop of over 140 songs from across the various Kingdom Hearts games. Players will control a team of 3 characters as they traverse through each world by pressing the correct button in rhythm to the music. Of course, the most important part of rhythm game is the music itself, and the work of famed series composer Yoko Shimomura gives the game a solid foundation to work from. Next entry on this list is NeiR Reincarnation, the first ever mobile gaming title in Yoko Taro's ethereal series of games. And this game is going to get a Western release as well. The title will be released in Europe and North America, with further details to come at later date, and yours truly will gather every bit of information for you on this channel. Reincarnation players are led by a floating character named Mama through a world called The Cage on a mission to collect pieces of weapons memories. Players will go back and forth between the cage, which is rendered in 3D, and the weapons memories, which are played in 2D, which is similar to Persona 5. Pre-registration for NeiR Reincarnation, which will be released on iOS and Android devices, has already started. The game also has gacha elements, and if 500,000 people register, everyone gets 3,000 gems to spend in-game, or about 10 gacha pulls according to Matsukawa. If 1 million register early, the team might even make a golden statue of the ghost-like Mama worth 1 million yen, which is approximately $9,480, to give away, though as with many things involving Yoko Taro, this is something that will have to be seen to be believed. But here's good news for collectors. While there were no new updates about the game itself, there will be something for fans to get their hands on next year. Square Enix is launching a new line of premium collectibles called the Square Enix Master Line, and one of the first products is a large statue figurine of 3 main characters from NieR Automata, the androids 2B, 9S and A2. Keiichi Okabe, the composer behind the series' enchanting musical offerings, also showed the package for Blu-ray of NeiR Theatrical Orchestra 12020, which will go on sale October 28th. The concert was filmed in March without any audience. Taro also said the new stage production of Yoroha is also coming up sometime down the line. Next one is bonkers. Microsoft already discounted the price of new Xbox Series S even before it has launched. Originally, the Series S was announced at 32,980 yen, about $313 plus taxes. This is in contrast with the Series X, which was announced for Japan at 49,980 yen, which is about $474, much more in line with the US price of $499. The new price of Series S in Japan is 29,980 yen plus taxes, or about $284, which is much closer to the US price of $299. No specific reason was given for this price drop. PlayStation 5's Disc Edition and Digital Edition are priced at 49,980 yen, which is $474, and 39,980 yen, which is $379 respectively, plus taxes. Since the PlayStation 5 price was announced after Xbox Series X and S, it may be that Microsoft wanted to offer a more aggressive price difference between the cheaper models of the rival console. Xbox has failed to break into Japan's market with past consoles, beaten by very wide margin by PlayStation and Nintendo with every generation. This time around, it is encouraging to see a more aggressive pricing strategy around the Series S and indeed the Series X, which surprised gamers in Japan with its sub 50,000 yen price point. Xbox TGS showcase is soon coming up, and I will be covering everything here on this channel, so stay tuned. Also, pre-orders for Xbox Series X and S in Japan begin at midnight JST on 25th September. A few hours from now. Both units go on sale in Japan on November 10th, the same date as the United States. Next entry on this list is Microsoft Flight Simulator. Microsoft Flight Simulator will get a Japan World Update, set to go live on September 29th, free of charge for all users. Announced at Tokyo Game Show, the update enhances the game's coverage of Japan thanks to the digital elevation mapping of the entire country. Beyond the national refresh, which pledges to deliver a high-definition look at Japan's proud buildings, nature and culture, multiple specific locations around the land of rising sun will get an high quality overhaul. Next entry is The Medium. So IGN exclusively showed off a new trailer for The Medium, which reveals a little more about the upcoming next-gen horror game story and helps introduce two of its key characters, the mysterious Sadness and Troy Baker's antagonist, the Maw. Revealed as part of the Tokyo Game Show, the trailer shows us lead character Marianne across both of the realities she can perceive, introducing the Maw and talking about the stalking entity with Sadness, a mysterious masked girl who resides at the abandoned Niwa Hotel. The Medium, which arrives on Xbox Series X and S along with PC via Steam this holiday, comes from Blobber Team, the horror-focused studio behind Layers of Fears, Observer and Blair Witch. It will use next-gen power to render two separate worlds simultaneously, with players focused to solve puzzles and overcome challenges in both to proceed. The Medium is just one of two Blobber Team games coming to next gen this year, with Observer. System Redux also arrives on launch day. The penultimate story of this list is Giga Bash, the B-movie styled 4-player arena brawler in which giant kaiju, monsters and ranger heroes cause merry mayhem as they battle for supremacy. After revealing a new character ahead of Tokyo Game Show 2020, the Gigaman, a new stage Siberia was also unveiled. According to the character's profile, he is a once mighty hero who has emerged from retirement to kick Kaju Kaister. Although he has seen better days, he has managed to retain his acrobatic skills, pulling off cartwheels, flying kicks, dive kicks, somersaults and tornado kicks. The press release accompanying his unveiling says Gigaman is ideal for players looking for a high mobility type, fast-paced, combo-oriented character. His core mechanics require mastery in spacing and precise timing in each attack. In the right hands, Gigaman can overwhelm his foes in an unending string of air juggles and combos, perfect for players who prefer to beat their opponents with style points. The Siberia map is a snow-covered industrial complex of factory buildings, most of which is destructible. The gigantic statue of a pixel axe-wielding worker at its center can be toppled during play to launch a missile from the silo hidden within and damage your foes. Developed by Malaysia's Passion Republic Games, Giga Bash will feature 1 vs all battles as well as team battles among other modes when it is released on PlayStation 4 and PC in 2021. The date is not confirmed yet. Now for the last story of today's video, I have saved the best for the last. It's Resident Evil 8, or Village if you prefer it that way. During Capcom's special TGS 2020 livestream presentation, members of the development team shared their perspective on two main characters of the upcoming horror game, Ethan Winters and the eponymous Village itself, and saying that the game will have more of a focus on exploration than Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil Village takes place in an unnamed location, one that the presentation described as the other protagonist of the game. Director Morimasa Sato said when you take the word village, people picture a small place. But when you look at village, it has a colossal distant feel to it. He emphasized the importance of making a place players could explore. Quote unquote, you have a lot more freedom in the village than Resident Evil 7. We want players to experiment to figure out what works for them, said Sato. He described the upcoming game as a horror movie that you can play. Asked to summarize Village, Director Sato took a long pause and said it is story of one man named Ethan, the entirety of the who he is. Resident Evil Village takes place years after the events of Resident Evil 7, the previous main entry in the series, which was released in 2017, and the first with a dedicated first-person perspective. During the TGS broadcast, village director Miromasa Sato said, quote-unquote, "When we were making Resident Evil 7, we thought of Ethan just as a camera for the player," even describing him as transparent. As production moved on, the team grew attached to Ethan and ultimately wondered what happened to him after the story was finished. This secured his position as the star of the next game in their minds. Before wrapping up the Resident Evil portion of Capcom's TGS stream, a logo of the series' 25th anniversary was unveiled, along with artwork that featured an assortment of heroes and villains from the past games. The original game debuted on PlayStation on March 22, 1996 in Japan, so an anniversary campaign will kick off on March 22, 2021. Also, during a Tokyo Game Show showcase, producer Tsuyoshi Kanda explained that while Resident Evil Village is being developed specifically for next generation console and PC, we are looking into delivering the experience on Xbox One and PlayStation 4 as well. We are looking into it, but we can't make any promises yet. However, we will do our best in creating a top-tier survival horror experience on current-gen consoles as well. While announced specifically for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS and PC, it seems that Capcom doesn't want to leave behind the huge current-gen player base. The development work will seemingly be to scale down the new game for lower-powered hardware. So this is it for this video. I will be covering the whole TGS in coming days and will be bringing you the best stories out of the showcase. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications as I upload gaming news videos every day.